It's time for the Morning Buzz. Joining us for the Buzz is comedian Jimmy Dore. He's got a book out called Your Country is Just Not That Into You. How the media, Wall Street, and both political parties keep on screwing you, even after you've moved on. Thank you for being here, Jimmy.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about this book.
Well, you know, where I came up with the title for the book is I come from a big family, 12 kids in my family, and you learn a lot about life growing up in a big family. And I think the biggest thing I learned is I'm easily replaced.
Oh my God, I hope they didn't make you feel that way.
I knew if I died, it wasn't going to put a big dent in their plans. I can't imagine my mom sitting around, oh no, Jimmy's dead. What am I going to do now with just the 11 of you?
That's terrible.
So I have a good sense of when people aren't that into me. And what the book is about is I talk about the people who run the country, and it's not our elected officials. It's what George Carlin referred to as the owner class, the people who own our elected officials and own our corporate media too. And they pretend that we have a choice in our people who run our country, which we don't. I'll give you an example. The last election was really important because it was Mitt Romney against Barack Obama, and if Mitt Romney would have won, we would have got Romney Care, but Barack Obama won, so we got Romney Care. So you see how important that was, right? Because so we're going to get whatever the corporation wants us to get, and that's what I talk about in Your Country's Just Not That Into You.
Yeah, so if it's Romney Care, half the country's upset. If it's Obamacare, the other half is upset.
Well, it's the same
and
thing,
it's about
just
the
half the
thing.
country
Yes.
pretends it's not.
Just what you call it.
Yeah, and what does it really matter anyway?
Yeah.
Speaking of you know, people just really upset, we've got Erik Erikson
Yes.
from Red State Blog.
Thank God.
And, oh boy.
Thank God we've got Erik Erikson.
I know, he just provides a lot of humor.
Yeah, otherwise we'd have to get a monkey.
Well, you know, he's talking about women's, you know, it was just Women's Equality Day, but it seems like some folks just are just not into equality, because he was talking about how female breadwinners, they were saying that there's 40% of households have female breadwinners now. And he's saying, oh my God, that is against science. All the liberals are always talking about science, but that is anti-science.
It's funny. It comes back down to science. There's a scientific predisposition.
Because has there ever been a bigger defender of science than RedStateBlog.com?
Exactly. Now they're all of a sudden talking about it.
He is correct, though. It is bad. It's really bad for single moms to try to raise kids. I mean, the last time I saw a single mom raise a kid, he became president. But other than that, so this Erik Erikson, he's really sharp. He's not the sharpest knife in the knife thing. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, but is this kind of indicative of what a lot of people might think?
I don't know. It's indicative of what a bunch of idiots might think, and morons like Erik Erikson. Thank God we keep asking that guy for his opinion. Erik Erikson, who said that feminists are feminists because they're too ugly to get a date.
Because he's a looker. He's a looker.
Oh boy, isn't he?
Well, you know what? I think what happened was Erik Erikson's wife forgot to write on here. I have this calendar. She forgot to say, it's no longer BC. We're actually in AD
It's
here.
in AD.
So, you know what she forgot to do is we're not in biblical times anymore.
That's right.
So, you know, we might not agree that if we've evolved from monkeys or not, but we have evolved.
We
so
have
let's
evolved,
move on.
right.
And it really just kind of like downplays, like we're all different. We all have our own different predispositions. There's some women who are more comfortable in the workforce, and there's some guys who just want to just stay at home.
And this guy's a product of a single mom making it happen.
Yes, I am a proud product, and I don't.
So it's
still
just
a work in process, though.
Aren't we all?
I mean, that's the kind of, just ignorant kind of statements that are just there to, it's like chum for the morons, that gets them riled up and everything. But as if people who are raising kids aren't all doing the best they possibly can.
And there's lots of scenarios out there, and he can't just speak, make that comment and speak to them all. The next topic we have is talking about media double standards. There was a shooting in Utah of a young unarmed white man in Utah. His name is Dylan Taylor, and he was shot by a black officer. So of course they're saying, where is the outrage here? Why aren't there, protests in Utah? The same as in Ferguson. Why aren't we hearing about this?
So when you say they, you mean race baiting ignoramuses on the right. That's what you're talking about, right? Because that's what they're doing. They're like, why aren't you upset? Well, I don't know, maybe because there isn't a history of black police forces suppressing white minorities, right? It's been the other way around. So that's why there isn't. I mean, these guys, is it too big of a concept for these guys to understand that there was 400 years of slavery in America? There's institutional racism. And if you look at the news every night you see evidence of that. Michael Brown, Eric in the selling cigarettes. You got so it's all over. So, and the point is, the white people are supposed to be the ones who would then rally. Why doesn't Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and RedState.com? You're the ones, if you're upset about this, if you think there's a problem with black police officers oppressing whites, you're the ones who are supposed to have a march.
Well, let me just ask you. I mean, is it right for us in the media to kind of exploit those 400 years and kind of magnify these instances?
But you know what? The media didn't create the protests that are happening in these
But
communities.
it's the media that's shedding light on it.
On what? On what? The Ferguson protests? I think we should be shedding light on that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a big problem with the militarization of the police in America. I mean, you see that the kids graduating high school in Ferguson have to borrow each other's gowns, but we have MRAP tanks, and but they don't have tasers, and they don't have dashboard cameras. So we have our priorities upside down in America, right? And in the middle of the biggest reaming from the military-industrial complex and Wall Street, people still find time to be angry at minorities and immigrants. And what have immigrants ever done for America except everything?
Absolutely.
Except build it.
Well,
Yeah.
Jimmy, we're going to have you back. We have more conversation to have with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
It's a pleasure.